What's up, everyone? Sportsmafia back here today to talk about 7 young NFL players in danger of flaming out in 2020. Before we get started, please click the icon in the bottom right corner of this video to subscribe to this channel. Once you've subscribed, please comment "I subscribed" and we promise we will personally reply to your comment. Thank you, and let's get started. First up is Solomon Thomas, defensive lineman, San Francisco 49ers. It was no great shock to see the San Francisco 49ers decline the fifth-year option on Solomon Thomas. Thomas, the third pick in 2017, hasn't come close to meeting the expectations that come with such a lofty positioning. While he's only missed 2 games over 3 seasons, the former Stanford star has tallied all of 6 sacks. Normally, sacks aren't the be-all and end-all for production, but Thomas's other numbers haven't been great either, hence the 56.7 grade from Pro Football Focus last year while he played a career-low 41% of defensive snaps. It's hard to see the clear trends changing now for Thomas, as he's had the benefit of playing on good lines with names like Nick Bosa. The 49ers just spent a first-round pick on Javon Kinlaw, which could again limit Thomas's chances to show he's finally putting it all together. Verdict: flame out. Next up is Hassan Reddick, linebacker, Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals tried to make Hassan Reddick a versatile Swiss Army knife type of defender who can play all over the place after making him the 13th pick in 2017. But it just hasn't panned out, and Reddick spent last season taking snaps at inside and outside linebacker on 61% of the defense's total snaps. He tallied 1 sack with 76 total tackles, earning a brutal 40.1 PFF grade in the process. While Reddick hasn't missed a game over 3 seasons, he's managed just 7.5 sacks and last year allowed a 75% completion rate on 56 targets, including 7 touchdowns. Fast forward to the present. The Cardinals declined Reddick's 5th-year option and just used the 8th overall pick on Isaiah Thomas, yet another hybrid player they hope to move all over the place. Verdict: flame out. Next up is John Ross III, wide receiver, Cincinnati Bengals. John Ross III has been one of the more up and down young wideouts since joining the Cincinnati Bengals in 2017 via the 9th overall pick. He only got on the field in 3 games as a rookie, and a combination of shaky plays and injuries has held him back in the year since. There's still room for hope with Ross though. His surrounding pieces figure to dramatically improve in 2020 with the arrival of Joe Burrow and what should be an ascending offensive line with Jonah Williams at left tackle, as well as attention-grabbing pieces like AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, and Joe Mixon. Ross also at least flashed big time in 2018 when deployed as a mismatch creator in the red zone with 7 scores using his speed and separation at the line to put up points on quick-hitting throws. And a season ago, he briefly led the NFL in receiving and finished the year averaging more than 18 yards per catch over 8 games. None of this means Ross gets a big extension after the team declined his 5th year, but if the injury issues subside, few players offer what one of the NFL's outright fastest weapons does at the age of 25. Verdict: breakout. Next up is JuJu Smith-Schuster, wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers. JuJu Smith-Schuster enters 2020 in a contract year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it feels like there has been zero traction toward an extension. It's not hard to see why his flop last year, in which he caught 42 of 70 targets for 552 yards and 3 touchdowns. He picked up just 23 first downs compared to 67 the year prior, and his drop percentage jumped 6.9% on 96 fewer targets. And yet, those targets tell part of the story for the 2017 second-round pick, as JSS endured most of last season without Ben Roethlisberger under center. If Big Ben is back and additions like Eric Ebron help a spread-it around attack, he shouldn't have a problem stabilizing. Granted, JSS probably isn't going to hit 166 targets again and won't benefit from playing alongside a top 5 talent like Antonio Brown as he did in a Pro Bowl 2018 campaign. But he's not going to flame out unless things turn disastrous around him again and he's tasked with carrying the entire passing game by himself. Verdict: breakout. Next up is Ronald Jones II, running back, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ronald Jones II is potentially the latest in a long line of high-profile running backs quickly shuffled out of the picture at a position with quite the limited shelf life. Jones, selected in the 2nd round of the 2018 draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hasn't been able to take command of what should be his backfield. Over 2 seasons, he's rushed 195 times for 768 yards and 7 scores, averaging 3.9 yards per carry with 38 catches. To make matters worse, Buccaneers general manager Jason Lynch told ESPN on April 9th, "We have a lot of faith in Ronald. We have more faith in him than we ever have." Lynch and the front office used a 3rd-round pick on running back Keyshawn Vaughn a few weeks later. There's still hope, however. Jones should obviously play in a better offense this season with Tom Brady aboard and the line potentially better due to the arrivals of Joe Haig and first-round rookie Tristan Wirfs. He only averaged 1.8 yards per carry before contact in 2019, yet still averaged 4.2 yards per carry on the season. With a little room in a better offense, he's a breakout candidate ready to rewrite a narrative. Verdict: breakout. Next up is Garett Bolles, left tackle, Denver Broncos. There's a few offensive linemen that are on the hot seat the way Denver Broncos left tackle Garett Bolles is in 2020. Even Broncos general manager John Elway would seemingly agree. The hard thing is that Garett is under the microscope. He's under the microscope, and anytime they say 72, it brings down the whole stadium. That happens. He got himself in that position, so we'll continue working at it. Elway's comments refer to Bolles' outlandish penalty rate. He's been called for 12, 10, and 10 penalties over his first 3 seasons in the league, and over that same span has allowed 14 sacks. These issues for the 20th overall pick in 2017 easily explain why Elway and company declined Bolles' 5th-year option, making 2020 a critical juncture for all involved as the team tries to eke the most out of Drew Lock. Verdict: flame out. Last up is Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, Chicago Bears. It's clear things haven't gone as planned for Mitchell Trubisky with the Chicago Bears. The Bears declined the 5th year on a quarterback selected number 2 overall in 2017 and added serious competition in the form of Nick Foles. Not too hard to see why. The Bears regressed from 12 wins to 8 last season in Trubisky's 3rd year as a starter, a point when teams generally like to see the development arrow for a passer point firmly up. Trubisky struggled, completing 63.2% of his passes for 3,138 yards and 17 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. He averaged just 6.1 yards per attempt, even worse than his rookie season, keeping his bad throw percentage at a notable 18.4. At this point, there's no guarantee Trubisky can even win the starting gig in 2020. But he's bound to be in the lineup one way or another, considering Foles is merely a 61.9% career passer who hasn't attempted more than 195 regular season passes in a campaign since 2015. But given the trend so far, it's hard to project anything but more of the same in Chicago. Verdict: flame out. That's it for today's Sports Mafia video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more Sports Mafia content, click the circle subscribe button so you never miss a single video. Hope you enjoyed.